It's your boy Mr. Smooth here again to break down some more video. I'll be breaking down another game Will did. It was at Maria Carillo, which is out in Santa Rosa. I believe on this particular day I got done officiating a JC game at Santa Rosa. Then I made the 10 to 15 minute drive over there to get the first half. So let's go ahead and start the video and begin the breakdown. Now right here, Will does a great job of getting off ball. As you can see, the ball is entering the lead's primary and he's accepting the play. So it's important that our trail steps down and gets a look at the backside action here, which he does a great job of. But more importantly, I want to highlight what I've been going around. Our trail, they love to hang out in this area, but as a trail, we have all this area down here we could use to get the perfect angle and look in. So it's important to keep moving, stay engaged, stay connected with the play. Step down, so that's a good foul call by Will there. Looks like they double with the lead, so the lead's gonna take it. Great job of the 10-second count all the way through. Good job to move onto the court to get the view here, as you can see. Then you can see our trail steps down, stays connected with the play, which is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and rewind it one more time because it looks like we're going to have another one of Will's famous sprints, and I always want to time them. I want to see who is the fastest official in Northern California. I believe from his last game at Santa Rosa Junior College against East Palo Alto and Cardinal Newman, he got there in 4 point something seconds. I want to see if he could beat that time. So let's go ahead and start it. So he got there in 4.71, not as fast, but you always want to show that speed and athleticism on the court. It'll be one thing that'll help you stand out as official. So good job by Will. So he does a great job of coming to a stop, giving both numbers with two hands, maintaining eye contact with the table, just the basic fundamentals of foul reporting. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to rewind it just a little bit. So we're gonna have a trap here, and we can see that Carillo does a great job of hustling, getting into position to get the open look here. He can see this defender, and he can see this defender's hand as well. And as they work reverse pivot, he has his 5-second closely guarded count. Now, one thing I would like to add, when the ball is passed into the backcourt, I'll slow-mo it as well. So when the ball gets into the backcourt, it will be important that our trail comes back. Just in case, let's say the defender catches the ball and his foot is not quite on the line and he remains in the front court. You want the best view, and you can't see that because you're trying to look through players to get to the ground. But if you step back and move back here, then you could get the best view of it. So you always want to be constantly moving. You always have that attention to the detail, because when the game gets close and we're talking about inches instead of feet in this situation, the calls aren't as obvious. You want to be in the perfect position to make the correct call. So one thing I would like to add, to me, the violation was on this side of the court, so the throw-in should have been somewhere over here. So just that little thing, little attention to detail. Looks like they're a little opposite the table. So that's something I'm gonna dock Will on for the moment. So now I want to talk about dual coverage areas and open looks. So I want to back it up to this high post area here. Now you can argue that this player is in the lead's primary in the high post, and he has the primary defender, and he should have the count, considering there's no competitive matchups anywhere else. So I would guess that the lead would have to be on this player right here, looking at it from the backside. But you will see that our trail here will have the 5-second count, which is nothing wrong because he does have a good look looking through, and there's no other competitive matchups on the floor. So during this situations, these officials would have to make eye contact. Let me get my arrows, eye contact, and then once they make their eye contact, they will communicate. It's something real subtle. As you gain more experience, you'll be able to do, but you make eye contact and you'll be decipher who's going to be on ball, who's going to be off ball, who's going to take primary responsibility, who's going to take secondary, who has the front side, and of course who has the back side. And you got curl plays and stuff like that to work. So all that happens in a matter of seconds as we officiate these ball games. Again, great hustle by Will by staying connected with the play. Again, the ball is now in the lead's primary, so we see Will begin to walk down somewhere here where he could get a look through for the backside of the play, and also maybe anticipate a skip pass of the ball coming from here to that player, number 11. So let's see what happens. We get an easy hit call right there. The lead does a great job of initiating the switch. Always important to switch on all fouls that are non-shooting called by the trail. Yeah, Fells did a great job of getting an open look. A good patient whistle, let the play start, develop, and finish. Then he made a foul call. Again, great job coming to a complete stop. To the mechanics, use your voice. Then you want to sprint to your spot or hustle to your spot. So again, you can see that the lead had a patient whistle. Let the play start, develop, and finish. I'm going to rewind it so we can get a better look at what happened. So it looks like the foul is going to be on number 1. The bump happened. The player came down. Then you saw how the contact altered and affected the shot, putting the offensive player at a disadvantage. And then he made his decision to call a foul. So we don't want to call fouls when they happen. We want to let the play start, develop, and finish, and then make a decision. So I'm assuming it's going to be white number 1 push, or maybe white number 1 with a hit. Let's see what it's called. So we get a travel call, not the foul. So I'm going to rewind it. Let's see if the player took the steps for the travel. So I'm going to bring it forward. Now I think I'll play it in slow motion. Yes, I'll play it in slow motion so we can see it. I'll go quarter speed. So when he catches the ball, his right foot is his pivot foot. Then it comes down, there's your travel right there, and then the foul happens. So that's a great job by Will of getting the travel and identifying the pivot foot. So we always want to see the catch, find the pivot foot, either be 1 foot or it'll be both feet, then the player could then establish a pivot foot. Again, great hustle by Will to stay with the play. And this is a great job by Will in the press situation, working off ball here and not looking at the ball, not ball watching the ball. It's another fundamental you don't want to do. You also want to help out, which he's doing. Then as the players clear, which looks they're about, then he's going to hustle down to his lead position. And get some white 33 with a hold. Push, okay. So right here, I'll back it up just a little bit. So as we're coming down, looks like we could have a possible pass crash as our lead defender is taking position to possibly take a charge. So our lead wants to get to the spot. I'll clear it. Then there's going to be a kick out. So when you see this kick out here, somebody's got to stay with the potential pass and crash. So since it doesn't happen here, our lead should then back out and look to get a look at the 3-point line and also keep the players boxed in. So you can see right here we had 2 passes and the lead still hasn't moved backwards. So again, so now he has players behind him. He also has players in front of him. You never want to let that happen because you want to keep the players boxed in. So then we move out. And the play resets itself. Good job for the lead, finding the secondary defender and making the call. So one thing I'm gonna point out right now that I just noticed, looks like we're 7-1 on fouls. So we're gonna see, because usually when they get 7-1, the coaches begin a little antsy, and you always hear the same old stuff. Oh, you're calling so many fouls against us, and none of them, you're not officiating fair. So we're gonna see what they do. I'm not going to even up the fouls, but I'm sure they're aware of it. So the team is in bonus. So they got to be able to pick up the shooters. So I'll go ahead and I'll rewind it. Something to note I want to talk about. So I'll slow-mo at the quarter speed. We're going to have a pass out right here. That's kind of free throw line extended. which is kind of almost in the lead's primary. It's probably a little bit above, but it's in that gray area. So we got to find our lead official, and we're going to use his body language and what he communicates. So he did do a 5-second count, so you have to assume that he's off of it, even though he's flattened out. He's not wide enough, so maybe basing on his positioning, if he was here, maybe he would say that he's on the ball, but it appears that he's not off ball. So Will is going to pick up the on-ball responsibilities, which is I don't have a problem with at the moment. I'll draw my lines, put it in slow motion, and we get a pass. Will did a good job. He had to walk onto the court to get the view of the matchup before the pass. Now the matchup is a little bit closer to him. Then at this moment, the players start moving towards him, and this matchup is moving towards him as well. So now we have a conundrum, a decision to make. How do we officiate as the players are still coming to him? I would suggest that he could have backed out and then backed in. It maybe been here. As you can see, his foot got caught in quicksand, and if he's in this position, he could see this matchup as well as that matchup, and possibly even this matchup right here. If there's ever a pass there, he will be able to referee his primary a little bit better than the position that he's in now. So you can see we get the pass there, and now he has to move. But if he would have moved as the play was coming to him before him, he would already been in the perfect position. I'll clear it, take it off slow motion. Then he would have already been here if there would have been a 3-point shot. Instead of him moving, he'd been already saw that matchup already. They would have shot a 3. He'd been easier for him to gauge 2-point or 3-point, or possibly find a point of contact, because he would have already been here in this situation, in this position. I'm sorry. I'll draw my circle and then moving down to get the look. And then as the pass is going into the post, he would have been able to see any front or any of the front side action. He would have had to look at that as well. So he was a little bit late on that whole possession, but it didn't cost him anything. The league was able to pick up the foul. So in this situation, the trail had called the foul here, so they should have switched. So Will should have sprinted down the court, and then the trail would have came down here for the throw-in. But depending on what they pregame, what the association's philosophy is in regards to long switches, I won't harp on that because I'm not from that association, so I won't harp on it. But just something to take note. So I want to rewind it just a little bit, just a little bit. And I'll slow-mo it as well, quarter speed. So once this guy walks through the camera, we can see that the ball is in the lead's primary here, and he has a count and he's moving to accept. So our trail official should have moved from the middle of the floor, because again, we're at the middle of the floor and you don't want to be on the middle of the floor, especially when the ball is not in your primary area of coverage. So you should have moved down here and got him a look at the backside of this play, because as we can see, the lead has his count there, so he's on the ball, and if he's in that area, he could have moved a little bit more. Now he has to move. I guess he has a good look at it. He didn't have to move there, but now he has to get up under the play now, closer to the circle that I've drawn. I'll take it off. But anyway, if he would have been there, he would have been able to see potentially this action here, better look. So this all about the looks you want to get. You just don't want to look at the on ball stuff, but you want to look at the off ball as well, because what happens off ball is just as important. So I'll take it off, slow motion. So that's the end of the first quarter of this game. I'll break down the second quarter as well, because there's some stuff in that one that I want to talk about. But a great way for Will to start the game. Him and his partner are doing a good job. They're representing their associations well. So shout out to Golden Gate, and of course, shout out to TaylorMade officials. It's me, Mr. Smooth, the livest one, the smoothest one. I'm out. Peace.